Hey guys, we're live today. Actually, a few minutes before we're supposed to start, like a few seconds. So a good start to it. So Yankees are off tonight with most of the baseball. I think there's only 3 games going on today, and Yankees did win a game. I didn't get to really hop on you guys. Jonathan, I just put the link in the stream, just trying to get everything good. Yankees won last night, which was a big surprise. I mean, we scored 5 runs in the extras in 1 inning, and then boom, we closed it out, making that. It was a really good game to watch and talk about. I mean, bullpen's starting to look a lot better. Weaver seems like his command's back, which is a good thing that we're seeing. And I'm very happy with at least some of the stuff that the Yankees are doing this month. We're taking care of series now. I mean, there's a few points that I would say it's really been really interesting is most of this month we're actually winning series. I think we only lost 1 against the Tigers, and it's really been a really interesting month for us. I did say hi to you, Jonathan. Hey, Susan. Just to give you guys a couple updates. Merck's dealing with something personal, so he won't be on the chat for probably about a week, or 2. So he's in the background. We know what's going on with him. He just has an issue going on. Don't worry about that. CT's okay. He'll be back. He's getting something taken a look at, so which is a good thing. And we always have Dev on anytime he wants to come on. Jonathan, if you want to come on, we could talk baseball. Feel free. There we go. But everyone's doing pretty good. How you doing, Jonathan?
Good.
I'm not sure if you got to hear the little update. I mean,
I did not hear the update.
Merck's dealing with something like personal. CT's taking care of something in the background, so he won't be on for tonight. I just told him the rest, not to worry about it. And Dev's always welcome on, and I said you're always welcome on too.
I'm always around.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to make sure everything sounds pretty good. I mean, I'm happy the Yankees are actually doing pretty well this month.
Yeah, there's actually a very small chance that they can get the division, but it's unlikely.
Well, it's a good chance because their Blue Jays and Red Sox are playing each other.
Yeah.
And if we can sweep the White Sox, we might have a shot.
And there is a small chance. It's unlikely, but a small chance.
It's small, but better than what we were looking last week. We were down by 4 games.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you can take half the games that the Yankees lost in the 8th or 9th inning, we would already have the division.
Imagine if Cole or Schmidt was actually healthy the whole year. That's 25 wins.
Cole and Schmidt, you'd have been easily 25 more wins. Well, not 25 wins combined, but you'd likely have close to 100 wins this season. Right now, the Yankees record is 88-68 with Cole and Schmidt healthy. You'd probably be at 98 wins.
Yep, and that what gets me excited is next year's team, like rotation wise.
Yes, next year's rotation, but remember you have Schmidt is probably going to be out for most of the year next year.
I believe they said he should be back around end of the July, August area. He had the same surgery that Cole has, which makes you come back faster with the braces.
Okay, but
Still, but you don't want to rush him back
have,
either.
you're probably going to have him for the last 2 months of that season, of next season.
And yeah, and we're gonna see Cole probably around like what, May or June, probably.
The end of May. My guess is the end of May.
Yeah, and then
if you're very optimistic, you'll think of Memorial Day.
Yeah, I'll be happy with them right around June, right when we need it, end of May, early June. I'll be really happy to see that happen.
Like for me, as I said, optimistically, Memorial Day.
Yep, I'll take that any day. I'm just hoping Cole comes back and
this year. Let's talk about this year.
Yeah, I know. No, I was gonna say the only thing I was gonna say, it's gonna be really interesting to see what they do with the rotation afterwards in this off season and what they do next year, because I think you heard that Elmer's their number one prospect of the year for the Yankees this year.
Yeah, I heard that. He needs to be protected in the 40-man.
Yeah. I was gonna say I wouldn't be surprised if this guy makes some big noise next year.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he makes a starting rotation out of spring training.
I think I said that on Jason's stream like a couple of weeks ago. I said hot take, Elmer Rodriguez Cruz would actually make the rotation next year.
Yeah, and next year, remember, we're gonna start with Schmidt on the IL, so there's gonna be a rotation spot available.
There is, and that we have to see how Schlittler does next year coming back from that. We'll see how Warren performs.
Warren, honestly, it wouldn't be surprising for me to see Warren traded this offseason.
I wouldn't. The Yankees have plenty of rotation like depth. Yeah. That's where I really like to see with because they have a lot of minor league guys. I could see them trading a few pieces to get a bat that we really do need for an upgrade.
Yeah, as I said, I wouldn't be surprised if whatever trade they make, Warren is part of it.
I could see that. I could see them trading, maybe if they really get a really impactful guy, I could see Gale moving too.
The problem is, who would they get? Who do they need? Because they no longer need a third baseman.
Well, I could see first base as an ideal. I could see them trying to trade for a catcher if they really don't.
Well, first base is you'll have to decide on two things. One, do you protect P.J. Brownsfield in the 40-man draft because he's the first baseman?
Yep.
And do you re-sign Cody Bellinger?
Yeah, no, that's the whole question is, does Bellinger opt out or not? And do we...
Bellinger is opting out, not whatever you think. I think he's opting out without question. He's definitely earned more than a 1-year contract.
Yeah, I know. It's really going to be interesting to see how this plays out, because Christian's probably going to sign really quick too. I wouldn't be surprised if the Yankees offer him a qualifying offer, and then
I think they'd be stupid not to offer Grisham a qualifying offer.
Yeah, and did you see
get a $50 million plus contract?
And did you see about Luke Weaver's interview the other day?
He wants to be a starter.
Well, no, he said he'd rather be he said he's more open to being a starter if he's a free agent, but he said he also wants to come back as a Yankee because he says he feels like he has unfinished business to finish.
Well, let's see how he does, because his injury hurt him this year. He was on the path of having an ERA under 2 this year before the injury.
Yeah, no, that's why I said it's going to be really interesting to see. That's why I said he wants to come back, so that's my thing. I'm hoping they bring him back.
Well, the question is, what would you offer him in a deal? Because he's not, this year he's making less than $3 million.
Here's the thing, I think
a 4-year, $35 million contract, maybe.
I was thinking maybe do like a 2 or 3 year deal, like maybe 12 to 15 million in a year.
Yeah, that's maybe.
That's where I kind of feel like the market will be. Is like I think it's going to be like if you were going to,
$5 million.
between like, yeah, I would say 7 to between, depending on the market, but he's going to be a highly commodity to get in the off season because of how he's done this as a Yankee, and most teams have noticed.
I don't think Devin Williams is coming back.
No, I would say that $10 million is gone. It's going to go either to Bellinger or something like that. So that's why I said if you go between 10 to 15 million for him for 2 or 3 years, you're pretty much, that's a wash on the payroll right there. And then you have Grisham that's making 5 million. Technically, you wouldn't be over the threshold just on that move alone.
Also, there's probably going to make some trade involved.
I could see them trying to shed something salary a little bit too. Not like a lot, but just enough to make it so it's more comfortable for hell's sake. We got arbitration with Volpe at shortstop. I'm not expecting it to be a lot of big ones. I don't think it'll be a big raise.
Do you see Ben Rice as a possible trade chip?
I don't think so. I mean, to me, Ben Rice is with the type of hitter they want, and he has versatility. He can play first. He can DH. His bat's really special, and he can play first base and catch. So it's like he'd be like a perfect like platoon / you keep his bat in there, play some first base, play some catcher, some DH a couple of times. I really think they're trying to keep him, but I could see them moving him on the right deal.
Yeah, I'm curious who on the current roster could be a trade chip.
I could see we're getting Oswaldo Cabrera back.
Yes.
So we have another bench player. We got Jose Caballero.
Vivas might be a trade chip.
Vivas is probably a trade chip, I would say. I don't think there's a room on the infield for him. As good of he's also almost out of options too, so he has to be kind of like either.
It's possible he may get cut at the end of the season to make more room on the 40-man.
Or I could see them flipping him just for like like international money or something like that too.
Yes, that too.
No, just possibilities. I could see them trying to trade a few of these guys in the off season too, just to free up some of the 40-man too. If there is some pitchers on the roster that could be trade trips too.
Yeah, after this year, I don't see Alan Winans. I don't know. Javine Sandridge. I don't see him back next year. Then maybe gone, dropped.
I could see Blackman walking too.
I don't even know if Scott Efros should stay on the team.
He might be a guy that might get non-tendered, I'm thinking, for Efros at least.
Yeah, because he hasn't done anything since he got to the Yankees.
Well, he pitched good, and then he got injured. And then this guy has the worst luck.
Well, he reminds me a lot of Kevin Brown and Jared Wright.
Yeah, has great stuff, but could never stay healthy as our guys.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of makes me like a little like always hesitant with pitchers when you try to bring them over from a different team. I'm just happy.
He was a cheap, cost-effective option. Was a good pitcher when we got him, but he just got hurt, and he stayed hurt.
Yeah, no. When we signed Rice,
a lot of Carl Pavano.
Yeah, well, Pavano had the worst luck. Then he has a good year as last year, then goes somewhere else and he stays healthy. Go figure. And then what to me was Rice actually when we're talking about him, he failed his. If I remember right, he failed his physical when we first tried to sign him.
Who?
Rice. Was it Jared Wright, the one that from the Braves guy?
Yeah, Jared Wright. I don't know anything about the physical, but if he did in fact fail his physical, then the Yankees should have never signed him.
He did. That's what I remember that, and I was in high school. I remember reading it about it and saying he failed it, so they had to redo something like the language in the contract to make sure he could, and then he passed it that after the second time. It was a little. It was interesting about that.
Well, if that's the case, I would not have made the risk of signing him because it's just too much injury risk if you fail a physical. And obviously, look,
Yeah.
I didn't like the fact that they traded for Kevin Brown. Kevin Brown with a lot of money and a lot of injuries waiting to happen.
Yep, nope. I didn't like him, but I liked how the Yankees signed Lieber when he had this Tommy John surgery.
Lieber?
When he came back after Tommy John, and we signed him, and he came back and actually pitched well, and then he went on the free agent the year after, at the end of the year.
Is that Jeff Weaver?
No, Lieber, the Cubs pitcher.
Lieber.
Yeah, John Lieber.
Yeah, John Lieber. That was a good deal.
Yep, that was like one that was a good Cashman. Sign someone, you're not going to get anything for 2 years, but first year.
That was the point of the Yankees when they were not drafting well. They had a lot of bad drafts between 93 and 2006. From 93 and 2005, they passed on a lot of good talent.
Were we either that or the guys that they did have, they were high-end talent, would just always get hurt. I remember Christian had the best curveball in the Yankees back in the day. It was had better curveball than Phil Hughes, but then he always got injured.
Who? Carson?
It was Christian or something like that. It was one of the starter pitching prospects. Yeah, back in something like that. Yeah, they had. I remember watching these. I used to go to a lot of those Yankee sites that actually talk about prospects. So I was watching them, and all these guys would get hurt, and then we drafted Job.
They had the guy called J.B. Cox. He was supposed to be a good reliever, and he never stayed healthy.
Yep, there's a lot of the guys they drafted that were supposed to be good, and they just got injured.
I mean, the 2005 draft was a killer draft, and the Yankees passed on so many good players in that draft, and they had the number 16 pick.
I remember them drafting guys that I'm like, what? I was looking at the thing, I'm like, because I used to go check used to check other people what they predicted, and I see these guys, I'm like,
yeah,
why can't we do that? And
I remember the 2010 draft. They drafted Cito Colba, and immediately after I heard that name, I called my dad. I said, "This guy will never make it to the major league."
Yep.
But I looked at his numbers. He was the number 190.
Yep, I remember.
High school prospect in the country, and he drafted number 1 in the first round.
That was
draft someone so low ranked in the first round, regardless of anything. It's so they passed on so many good talent, and before they did.
I was
2010.
I remember that drafter talking about Jonathan with that shortstop.
Yeah.
And there were so many other shortstops we could have drafted that were so much better than him that draft.
Yeah.
And
the only good thing about that shortstop is that he had a good arm and he played good defense. He couldn't hit. He couldn't do anything else except play the field. And you drafted him in with your number 1 pick.
Yeah, that was like the worst That was the worst pick I saw. One of the worst picks. The other one.
And the next year we got Dante Bichette Jr.
That was.
What makes that draft worse is the next pick after Bichette Jr. was Blake Snell.
Yep, I remember.
So the Yankees had Blake Snell on a gold platter right in front of their faces, and they passed on him.
And then the other one that really drives me nuts is the pick before that. The Yankees had, I think, the 16th round pick or 16th round pick or 7th.
A different pick because that was the first round.
Yeah, it was a first round pick. Mike Trout fell down.
C.J. Henry in 2005.
Yep, I remember that.
They could have chosen. They passed on Jacoby Ellsbury. They passed on Clay Buchholz.
Yep.
They passed on so many. The 2005
draft was a good one.
Was a good draft, and they passed on everybody.
I think that
if Tim Lincecum.
Yeah, no, that was a good draft though. I remember I've been watching. There's some guys on TikTok. I know you don't do that, but they show like some of these guys. They show the draft picks like, and you look at like if after like 15 years and you see the list of the first round, you go, holy cow! They either hit on it or they didn't.
Yeah.
And you know what the craziest part is? You know, Posada was like what, around 24th round pick?
Yeah, he was in the 20s.
And then you know what's really even crazier? Albert Pujols. It was like a 40 round pick.
I think Pujols was in the teens.
I thought he was higher. Like I thought it was like a later pick. Let me go take a. I mean, I got my phone right there. I can look it up while we're talking.
When was Albert Pujols? I know Yadier Molina was a 4th round pick.
Yeah. I'm just looking it up for
Posada was in the 20s.
Yeah.
I believe was in the 20s.
Okay, let me see if I can spell it right. Freaking phone does not. I write something and it doesn't even pop up.
What was his name again? Albert Pujols.
Yeah.
Draft. '13th round in 1999.
Yeah, he was a later round pick, and I think the same thing was I believe it was another late round pick was Mike. Was it Mike Piazza? He was a later
62nd round.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody wanted Piazza, and Tommy Lasorda basically begged the Dodgers to get him.
And they did, and did really well. Then went to the Mets, and then didn't he go one other team after that? I forgot what.
He went to a bunch of teams.
Yeah.
He was at first with the Dodgers and the Miami. He was in Florida. He was with the Mets. He went on a bunch of teams.
I thought he was one of the better catchers I saw him at least like got to watch on that steroid era, and I'm still mad that Posada's not even in the Hall of Fame, and he was a great catcher for us.
Yeah, I still think Mangley should be in the Hall of Fame.
He should, and I think Posada should be, and I also think Bernie Williams was too, and he has the numbers are there for them too.
Yeah, especially if you compare Mangley to Kirby Puckett and Kirby Puckett. They have very similar numbers.
That was the same thing, and then you have Williams that was actually a really good outfielder too. You had really good.
Yeah, I think they may have gave Kirby Puckett a special treatment because he had to retire early.
Yeah, and then Williams didn't want to leave. He didn't want to leave the Yankees organization, so he was forced to leave too.
Yeah, Jorge. Yeah, I think
It's,
Jorge Posada would be a good manager.
I really do think so too.
But the Yankees will never hire anybody that's in Monument Park because they don't want to fire them.
Well, look what I never thought they would have Joe Girardi as a catcher, and he was a starting for a little.
Girardi is not in Monument Park. He's not known as he was on the Yankees, yes, but he was only on the Yankees. He only played for the Yankees for what, 4 years?
Yeah.
He's not a lifelong Yankee like Posada, like Bernie, like Mattingly. Imagine if they hired Mattingly and they had to fire him.
I don't think they would have fired him. I think they would have just let his contract go. I think that's how they would have done it.
I mean, I honestly, after Girardi, I would have chosen Tony Pena.
I thought Pena should have been the pick. I always thought every time I would watch him on Yes, and they had these, like, how they had this staff kind of in the background with all of those interviews. He always rubbed me the right way with always helping the catchers, always doing the fundamentals. You could hear him talking about.
Yeah. I also think that the fact that they got rid of Pena destroyed Gary Sanchez.
I think this is one where I think Brian Cashman has to just say he was wrong with about Sanchez, because Joe Girardi is the one that actually got the best out of him, and he also said he wasn't the right catcher. He wasn't going to be a good catcher.
Well, if you think your guy is not going to be a good catcher, you don't sign him to a $3 million signing bonus.
Exactly. $3 or $4 million sample of that.
It just in 2009 for $3 million. You don't sign somebody for $3 million if you don't think he's any good.
Exactly, and then just having that, it's really interesting with what we're talking about with all these things. I always thought I always wanted Frank. My bad. Ranking the manager of the Reds right now, Francona. I always wanted him.
Terry Francona, yeah, he would be good. He was good with the. He was always good with young players.
He always had the right things to do. He's a good baseball mind.
Being a good baseball mind doesn't always necessarily mean you're a good manager.
I know, but if you watch, like, how we got to watch him with, like, facing us with the Red Sox all those years, having really good seeing him manage a really good game when it's like a really tight game. He always had pushed the right buttons. That's what I always noticed.
Yeah, he brought the Red Sox 2 World Series, so no arguing there. He couldn't do it with Cleveland.
Cleveland is a hard place to win. You have they're a good mid-market team, but they just don't go full out like they do with the Red Sox some years.
Well, they had the chance to win in 2016 when the Cubs went on.
Yep. Cubs and Guardians, and the Cubs just outplayed them.
What can you do?
No. I really like J-Ram on that team. I wish he was our third baseman.
Yeah, he would have been a good Yankee.
Yeah, I don't think he's getting moved anytime soon. That guy's
he's not moving out of Cleveland. If you take J-Ram out of Cleveland, Cleveland Stadium will be empty.
Yeah, no. It'd be like us back in the 90s trading Jeter for some player. And the fans would be rioting and the Bronx would be burning.
Well, the only way to trade a guy like J-Ram if you have someone more exciting than him to watch.
Yeah, no, it's always I'm just happy we're actually talking about some of this stuff that we haven't really got to talk for in a while. Like, not most streams don't talk about that.
Well, there's not today when there's no game. It's easier to do a stream because you can think. You can think about more things, and the season is almost over. You have 7 games left.
Yeah, no, we have 7 games and
6 games left.
Yeah, no, that's gonna be a really interesting. I think we could sweep the White Sox if we could.
Yeah, we could actually win the next 6 games. We have a chance, but I personally I think I would love to go 5-1.
Yeah, I would take 5-1 in a heartbeat. I mean, the way the season was, I thought my prediction was between 93 and 94 wins, which is pretty much where we're going to be ending up with. After we lost Cole and Schmidt, I'm like, realistically, I think there's about 92. Probably the highest max is like 93, 94, maybe 95 if we pushed it. And we could have been there if we just didn't put in some games like some of those.
Look, if the Yankees if the Yankees had a better bullpen, they probably would have at least 6 more wins.
Easily 6, and if Cousins didn't have Tommy John, that was a good, reliable reliever for the 7th or 8th.
Even baseball, the MLB standings said based on the amount of runs they scored and run against, they should have a record of 92 and 64.
That's interesting numbers for that.
And so, the Blue Jays, who have 90 wins, should be at 84 and 72.
Yeah. So, that's the interesting stuff. How they
even according to MLB and their numbers, the Yankees should have at least 4 more wins.
Yeah, no, that's what I was hoping. I mean, you can't always blame the things, but sometimes you got relievers that just don't have that night. I mean, it happens in baseball.
Yeah, well,
but it shouldn't be a whole month of it too, though.
No. The problem with the Yankees is that when one player goes down, that sometimes it takes a whole team with it.
Yeah, no. No, the worst one was when they let rest Judge, and then he was on a really hot streak, and then all of a sudden he went cold.
Yeah. You don't want to. I don't care what the rest day is. If some guy is on a hot streak, you should let him play, even if you DH him for the day. Let him play while he's on a hot streak. If he goes or is 0 for 2 with 2 walks, then yes, then you can sit him the next day. 0 for 3. If he has a game where he doesn't get a hit or doesn't get on base, then you rest him the next day. But if he continues to hit day after day, you do not sit him.
Exactly. And that's what I don't like about this, like how they said analytics is no such thing as a hot streak or a cold streak. I beg to differ on that for a while.
Well, that's the problem with the Yankees and the analytics, and that's why the Yankees haven't done anything. They haven't won in October because they're too analytically driven. They're not playing with their eyes. They're playing with numbers.
Numbers are only so good for so much, but you got to use based on the feel for the game. Like me and CT always stressed upon. There's a feel to the game where you have where the momentum is going and where it takes players out, and not where the numbers should say. The numbers are there, but at the same time, it shouldn't be like a Bible. It should be, okay, here's the numbers. Do you want to do this or do you want to do that? There's different options. And depending on how the pitcher's pitching too, if the pitcher's he's doing better than his career numbers are, I still say let him still play and pitch.
Yeah, well, that's what I think. I'm hoping, as I said, the Yankees can win at least 5 games out of the next 6, and if they're lucky enough Toronto goes on a cold streak and they can somehow win the division. But that is a long shot.
Long shot, but
it's not impossible, but it's very unlikely.
Yeah, it's unlikely, but I really like to see it. That would be like telling them like last year, basically. Oh, you think we're gonna win 4th division with Soto? No, we're winning the division.
That would be just as good as the 1978 season.
You know what's also that's really most likely the Mets aren't gonna make the playoffs.
No, unless the Mets. The Mets. No, the Mets. I don't think the Mets can make the playoffs.
Yeah, no, and I'm not trying. I just only just stating a fact. I just don't think they're making it. I like to see them get in just because it'd be like interesting, like for rating wise. But their team needs more pitching.
Yeah, the Mets are. The Mets are in trouble. It's unlikely. It's still possible, but they've lost too many games. Unless they also go on a hot streak, they're not making the playoffs.
Yeah, no. And
the Yankees haven't even clinched the playoff spot yet. Nobody has clinched in the American League except the Blue Jays.
Yeah, no, Susan, that's what I was. That's what we've been thinking too. I just don't bring them up that often. I just looked at the standings and the numbers, and I'm like, holy cow, it's not good. And heard it on baseball already on ESPN this morning. Like I was just listening to the radio before I turned my.
Well, maybe this is a payment of criticizing the Yankee fans from the beginning of the year.
It's karma.
We're now the best team in New York, and this year they suck.
Yeah, no. To me, it's just.
Don't go around pounding your chest until you actually win in October.
Yeah, no. It's like always like my mom used to say, "Don't count your chickens before they hatch."
The same thing.
The same thing. It's just. It's baseball. It's anything can happen. The best. Yeah, it is. Susan, it is. 100% on that. I just, like I said, I always wanted to see I always look at seeing who the Yankees potential could have at the World Series if they got there, or who the AL is going to be facing.
You know what I'm looking for even more than the home run race between Judge and Raleigh. I'm looking if Judge can win the AL batting title.
I would love to see Judge win that.
Yeah,
and
I think winning I honestly think Judge is the MVP of this team because if you look at all the injuries the Yankees had to overcome this year, and for them to be in this position, you don't do that without Judge. Judge is the player that have the Yankees where they are today.
Yeah, to me, if you take Judge off this team, it's not even a 500 team.
No.
We saw them when Judge was out for that 10-game out, and he came back as a DH, and they had to have Stanton in the outfield for part time. With all these other ones, it just you take them out, the team struggled.
That injury to Judge was it's probably why they might not win the East. They lost probably, I don't know, at least 5 games.
Exactly. And Stan was on fire too, and he started to cool down a little bit. I mean, having him, you have Judge, you have more pressure on him. And what you want to what I look at that, Susan, you take I was watching if you watch it, if you put Cal's stats off and you minus like 180, think he's an average player. If you take out 180 on pace percentage off of Judge, you get Cal's. That's how good of Judge's season has been. for player wise, for statistics. That's why I say Judge should be the Hall of Fame.
An offensive player has to be more than home runs.
Yeah, they robbed the Judge of that, and back in 17 with Altuve?
Yeah,
because they said I had a higher batting average and that was more important to them. Now you're telling me that now it's all about home runs? It can't be one. It's either one or the other.
And Altuve cheated.
Yeah, I know he did. That's why I don't like bringing up his name. And that it just, to me, it was a stolen from the Yankees that year. I really do think it's a lot of like that.
And look, if we won in 2017, it's possible that we might not even have Boone on this team.
No.
Wasn't that Girardi's last year?
Yeah. He's still there. Yeah, there's real changes when it comes to the Yankees. Yeah, it's like a double standard, Susan. Like, it's hard to say. That's all I can say. There's years that we had guys that should be MVPs. They come in second, versus sometimes it was third. It just really sucks that people don't realize if you take Judge off the team, what happens to this team. It doesn't go that far. You put Cal in the Yankees, or maybe a second best team at best. You put Judge in the Mariners, that probably puts them way ahead in first place.
Yeah. Anyway, I probably have to get going. I'm getting tired.
No, it's okay, Jonathan. It's been a long day. So good. Thanks for coming on.
Maybe next time CT can come on, and I'll have a discussion with him as well.
Yeah, no, we could have that'd be fun, and hopefully
I'll look out for any future upcoming days. I don't know exactly what day you go live, but
I'll give you most of the time, Jonathan. Is Mondays around 10. Fridays, if I can do it, it's about 10:30. Then usually Saturdays is around 10.
Okay.
I always try to post it on X. We have a Discord.
I'm one of the few people that you probably know that never use Discord.
I know. I'm not one either. I'm on there just so that CT is off my back and I help them.
I still have Facebook and I never use it. I
have Facebook too. I use it for family for most of that. I might create a thing. I did make an X on there for this. It's CSMS Yankees. Like, it's or the spaces was acting like this on X. And Susan, I don't use X. I only post live.
I have an X account, but I never once posted that on it.
I don't use X normally. It's just there for the site so that if people...
I only use X because that's where everybody posts the latest news on Facebook.
Yeah, I have it for for the Passions guy for ESPN, just to be able to see some of that's verified, just to see if when the trade deadlines, because he's pretty good about that in the off season. And I don't even like using X. I don't like using Facebook. I'm always on YouTube or I'm on TikTok. I'm not a big person for social media for that.
No, I really reduced my social media after 2016. I don't even comment on any. I rarely comment on anything unless it's a live feed.
Yeah, no. I like to do like I said, I only do Facebook for family so I could see what they're doing, but I don't really. My wife tags me and stuff, but that's about it. Unless I really have something going on that everyone needs attention with. So that's that. X's doesn't. I really don't care for X too much. It's just a really.
Thank you, and we'll talk again another time.
Yeah, no, thanks, Jonathan, for coming on. We'll see you. We'll probably see you Friday or Saturday. I'll post the thing.
If I'm around, I'll look for you.
Yeah, if you want to, you can go on X if you want. I always post it on the day, so there will be.
Thank you.
No problem, Jonathan. Have a good night. And we're back. Yeah, Susan, I don't like that stuff either. I only have it for the site just to help grow it. That's basically what I do. I only have it. I have a Discord in there. I know Merck and them post all the links so that everyone knows ahead of time. I try posting on X or that, but I'm so busy with my job, it's not even funny. Just running around with a chicken cut my head off. It's pretty crazy some days, but luckily we haven't hit winter yet or fall where the temperatures dropped. But it was a good having Jonathan on the chat. And also the other thing that's really was I use Facebook, YouTube and Facebook. That's what I usually use too, Susan. I'm on Facebook. I'll make a page for this, and I'll let you guys know. I'll put it in the link on the banner that we have going through. I'll make one. I'll figure it out, and that way I can link it. I'll link it to my Facebook too, so that way people can connect there too if they want to see it. Just haven't got a chance to because I'm just running like a chicken with my head cut off most days. I'm actually glad I'm home, but I really need to I really wish this kitchen was done already. Not having a stove and having to use crock pots and buy some pre-made stuff is just it's killing me. I can feel it in my body. I like cooking more than anything, and that's one thing I don't like. They also there was some interesting stuff, and it's going to be really interesting what the Yankees do with these prospects they have coming up that are high end. They have Lagrange coming up. They have Elmer Rodriguez Cruz. We're gonna have to see if they really going to keep Henry Lemaine. I like cooking. It might be because it's probably because it doesn't bother me that much. I love cooking, especially when I can make my cheesecake. That's my favorite thing to do for desserts. Make that cheesecake from scratch. It's so good. I know I have to send NFE one, and I promised them I would. So it will be done at some point. I'm just overwhelmed with how much stuff's going on with my house, and I love cooking though. So many different recipes I have for chicken. We got stuff for steak. There's stuff for burgers. I do. Yeah, no, I make the whole thing. It's like a New York style one, all from crust and all from scratch, Susan. That's why you'll see sometimes I'll put in my picture, my profile, that cheesecake melt like that. It's just so good. I put it down in for my I make 2 of them for Thanksgiving for my parents and my in-laws. I bring it up pretty much once I put it down it's gone pretty much with my parents, and they have like 20 plus people that come every year. I put it down, I only get maybe like a slice, and that's basically it. Cheesecake is one of my favorite things to make. My parents, I'll give you a little story. I burnt toast and set off a fire alarm off one time trying to make just toast with butter. I don't know what I was thinking. Should have put the toast in without that, and I put it in with the mic on there, and I smoked the fire alarm. My parents just started laughing. He goes, "At least you have some ambitions. Try cooking." But I got a lot better at it. It took me after I got my house back in 2017, it took me about 3 or 4 2 months before I ever started to it. I never blew up the house. I only did a smoke alarm once. And then my mom taught me how to make I used to help my mom make like desserts for Thanksgiving and all that. So cooking wasn't really bad. It was more of an interest for me, like We used to do desserts. I used to make snowballs with my mom. I used to make cheesecakes. I made a recipe I took from a newspaper and we modified it so it was really like a chocolate cake with a lot of walnuts in that. One of the best things we did. I miss making this thing called pistachio ambrosia. It was all about all fruit that was all good for you. It's all like it was so much. It's so good. I can't even explain with it. No, that's funny, Susan. I did the same thing at my house. I lived on a dead end. It's just just funny. It just makes me laugh because some people have the same experiences. It's just a different thing. I just laugh it off because it's like, I come from do that, and it's like I know that, and I go, at least I can't do that. At least I can make all this other stuff. It's really fun to do. Yeah, I just think cooking just helps me release from like the stress from things we do. It just every time I make a meal, it just feels like I made like a nice, like it's made out of love, and there's something good for it that I'm doing to help me. That's what I really like about cooking. It just helps get the stress away from me. I'm just happy. Yeah, no, my grandma used to cook. Didn't like cooking, but she was a good cook. That was my mom's mom. I still actually have recipes from my grandma that I cook, and there's from both sides. I got the Polish. I have a Polish dish that's really really good that I don't usually like sauerkraut, and I use that for that. It's really good the way how they made it. Just different recipes they wrote down. My mom made sure she got before they all passed. I miss them so much too because my grandma on my mom's side, even though she didn't like to cook, she used to always take us all when we were little in Hartford before it got really bad. On the good side of Hartford, Connecticut, he used to take us up to like Franklin Avenue, and with all the good restaurants, and we used to go do a lot of fun stuff like that. Yeah, pastry stuff. That I still want to learn how to make a few things from pastries that I'm working on. Just to surprise my wife, I gotta find some good recipes. And that's something that's really good. I'm in Connecticut, Susan. I originally grew up in Portland, Connecticut, which is like near 20 minutes from the south of Hartford. I'm up in Enfield, right, the town right before Massachusetts. So I'm really in like Red Sox country. But I at least know 8 people around my area that I know that are Yankee fans. So it's really really cool. So I'm not from Yankee Stadium to me. It's like an hour and maybe 2 hours tops. So it's not too far. I'm just like I'm right off a highway, and it's like I'm pretty much right near like a city. Yeah, Danbury is Danbury from Enfield to Danbury without traffic. It's about an hour, maybe 45 minutes. It's all mostly highway. It's just like 91 to 84 to go down that way. That's right near the border down there. I literally know. I know all those. We're actually talking about Danbury the other day. Actually, earlier today with my father-in-law, he found something he wants to buy, so I told him I'd take a ride with him. It's like an hour and 30 minutes from, I think, some part of Danbury. It really depends where, but it's not too bad from our house, and he's only like 35 minutes from his house, so it's all highway. I'm more like in the middle of the state. It's pretty funny. How we used to, my grandma always said there needed someone above Hartford to make a cross, and we did have it before it did. Yeah, we have summers in Connecticut. Yep, we always see those birds up and down. Where I live, there's like a small area of cardinals, that family that stays around during the winter, and that I see them all the time. And especially in summer and spring, it's like they come out certain times when we're out, so it's kind of really cool to see what those birds goes. Some other birds that we don't normally see. But I'm actually really happy with this team for the most part. I just want to see them finish the season off strong and let's see a big postseason run. I want to see some guys go get really hot like Stanton, Judge, and I want Judge to finally have his. Yeah, no, I've been in Connecticut my whole life. I've traveled to New York before. I have cousins up in upstate New York. I got cousins that I haven't even met down in Texas. I know where my cousins. There's some cousins in Florida. I got some cousins in. Let's see. I have I have in-laws that are up in Boston. I have cousins that live in Boston, different spots. I have cousins in Montana. I got cousins in Texas. I got some in Kansas. I have my best friends in Florida right now. Hey, Dev, what's up? Well, Susan, Volpe is. I agree. It's not. They're trying to fix Volpe. Now isn't the time to do it. They're trying to get him ready. I mean, let's be honest. I think that injury affected him a lot. Now, since he's the one little stat that I don't like to say, but it's a stat. Since that cortisone shot that Volpe has, he's actually batting .400, which is a really good thing. And he's actually driving in runs again. We weren't seeing this like 2 or 3 months ago, but to me, Cal's my shortstop that I would like to have during that thing. The guy just has the intangibles that Volpe doesn't show. I'm not trying to use talking points. It's just one of those things where, to me, Volpe's should have been on the aisle for a while. Yeah, no, he should have been taking care of the injury before the season. Honestly, they should have shut him down when that happened. To me, Volpe should have been on the IL. I know there would have been put a big hole, but I'd rather have a guy healthy and contributing to the team than not seeing the guy do anything. I'm very happy, like, they finally admitted that there was something wrong. I'm waiting for him to see what happened to Wells because I know he had some circulation issue or nerve damage, and that's a injury that Wells been doing all year. I want to know if it's really true because ever since May, except for the last few weeks, he's been not playing right, and we've been all saying that something looks off and he needs to be demoted. I said just rest him, but I was in the minority and saying I think there's something actually wrong with him. And the way that I would explain why Volpe's batting is not, his hitting's been off really bad. I'm not saying it's an excuse. If you're playing hurt and still doing that, it's just really bad. Yeah, no, there was terrible options. There was other options out there too. We could have signed a veteran guy to a minor league deal and could have just tried that. I mean, you could have tried some different. You could have tried for. There was a guy on free agent waivers a couple of times. You could have picked up someone just that was a better option to play than Peraza or Vivas. Lombard, you're not bringing him up. He needs more time. Yeah, no, he wasn't helping. It was hurting the team. 19 errors, and his batting just seems off. He needs to just go back to being a contact hitter and taking the balls where it's taken and not try to hit home runs. That's his problem. And defense, he needs to learn not to throw a ball when you're in this thing where the ball is it's a dead. Why make it worse? That's what kills me every time I look at it. Every time I look at things, it's just fundamental baseball. If you see a ball and you're gonna throw it with hook legs, you're gonna throw it away. Don't throw it. Kill the play. Let the guy get the first base. Run it to the pitcher. Yeah, no, I couldn't believe it either. He's had 16 years error. I was looking at the stats for the last 3 years for his fielding percentage. He had 16 errors his first season. I believe he had 17 this last year. Now he's up to 19 with a possibility of more to come. So it's not the best season. I think his season fielding percentage at shortstop is at 961. I just don't get the regression. Injuries don't help it, but I honestly, there's something to be said that they practice the fundamentals, and that's something I can tell you. Hector says when he's for Latina Sports, always says they're doing the fundamentals during pre-games and all that you don't see all the time. They do practice it all the time, but it doesn't translate, and that's where we're kind of figuring what happened. And I'm glad they practice it, but they need to be practicing it in the minor leagues too, and that's something they're not doing all the time, and that's part of the problem. And that's why maybe if they could have Cashman once his contract's up, promote him. Bring a GM in there, make sure we can bring in a guy that for the minor leagues just have Cashman keep on helping with all the drafting and stuff like that, but make sure you got some guys that can teach them fundamentals, and that's what help when they get up to the major leagues. Drill it into them. Play fundamentally sound baseball, because if we can not make errors, guess what? We're gonna win a lot more games than we're gonna lose. And look at the last game. Yeah, no, that bonehead mistakes kill me. It kind of, Susan, to me, it kind of reminds me of Torres last year. Space cadet. That's what Volpe reminds me of, a space cadet. Has the range to get stuff, doesn't have the arm for it. Kind of reminds me he should be like a second baseman. He doesn't have the arm for a shortstop. Wait till you see Lombard. I mean, the guy needs to work on his offense, not his defense, but the guy makes plays that just well as you, and I just can't believe we have that type of player, but his bat needs to get better, and he needs to make some more adjustments, and he needs some time, and I don't want them rushing him because we rushed. Yeah, no, Lombard's still a kid, but the thing is, he needs to get better at the plate and work on some of this hitting. I think next year, we'll see him reach AAA. I wouldn't bring him back up unless we really desperate for him and the guy's hitting. Lombard is a kid. He's also a guy with his father is a former player, and he's been around the clubhouse, so he has advantage on a lot of players than most at that age. Well, Susan, I don't think they're going to trade Lombard. Only person I heard Cashman was willing to give up Lombard was with Jones was for Paul Skeens, and I don't think the Pirates were willing to trade him then. I don't think they're willing to. I think you won't see Skeens get traded until he's on arbitration. They just don't like give playing players. Look at they put on IFK for waivers because he was getting close to incentives. He cut a guy for a pitcher because he was about to get his bonus. They're just a bad run team. I don't know what the other stuff was, but Cashman was one of like 3 GMs that actually asked about Skeens, and they said no. So sometimes you got to think, well, at least Cashman has done his due diligence. He explored every option possible to see if he can get someone that makes the team that much better. I understand the price most people is steep, and I get it's the trade deadline and that, but Cashman did well for what we gave up. Most of the guys that we traded were Rule 5 guys. It might get revisited. The Pirates, I don't think, are moving him onto him until he starts making significant money, Susan. I don't think they're going to trade him. There's no incentive to. You got one of the best pitchers in baseball, and guess what? He's on the cheap. Do you think why would they want to do it unless they want a huge overhaul, like a can't miss deal that would rob a team? I was thrilled too. The guy, it's what we needed. A guy, he's like almost like a Swiss Army knife. Now we're gonna have two of them next year with Oswald Cabrera, and you got Cabrillo. He's gonna be really good with that. You're gonna have to be able to. You can be able to have players rest the same day and not really go off that much. Like defensively and offensively, it's not a big downgrade that much. I really hope they re-sign Bellinger, because if he does opt out, because that's the one guy I really don't want to see. I really don't want to see him leave us, but I can understand them if he gets a bad one. I heard that they might have too, but I also think the Yankees really value Oswald, though, because if you notice, the clubhouse is not as loose as it was before he got injured. The team was playing a lot better with Cabrera in the lineup, or there. He's just one guy that everyone wants, is always there, smiling, enjoying it, taking everything not for granted. The guy wants to be a major leaguer, and I don't think they're trading him. I think they really want him back, but he don't have a full-time starting. I think his best value to the Yankees is be able to play anywhere and be off the bench and he's ready to go. I think. Yeah, no, it's for Bellinger. I think if the Yankees are relatively close, he's going to come back. If it's a can blown way and the Yankees don't even want to match it, I could see him gone. But I'm really hoping he comes back. That guy's what we need. He fits in perfectly. I think, like me and CT talked off camera, was at old Yankee Stadium, like the Yankee Stadium old timers game with all these guys. You notice how him and his dad actually got to share a moment in Yankee Stadium, being at old timers game together as a current and a former. That's something I really didn't expect, because you could tell they were enjoying that, and I really think Bellinger really enjoys this. I think he's been our MVP the whole year, for at least he's been out there. He's been one of the MVPs. He's been consistent. He hits the ball. He had a bad start in April, but ever since then he's been hitting. I'm just glad he's doing well. And as long as we can rest him a few times, give him some days off, maybe play him at first, so he's not that. And Bellinger, he just wants to be playing, and he does his job, and he plays defense better than Soto. To me, Soto's just a guy that just wants money, and that's it. Didn't care where it is. If you really look at how much money Soto made, and I'm not trying to bring him, won't talk about it again, but for all the other incentives the Yankees, the Mets gave to Soto, it was like having $1 billion with that contract. So he really lost by like $500 billion with the money for his mom to spend. Susan, Yankees had a really high offer, and basically Boris said, and Soto wanted to not leave because he didn't want to be under Judge. That's what I heard. And he said, just make me the higher offer for the Yankees, and I'll sign with the Mets. That's what I think, because I think his mom wanted him to be there. It was all about the money, and that. I think they use the security thing as a bone cover. And Cohen hasn't proved anything to me. It just shows you could throw money at something and still lose. Reminds me of George when he first started. You don't spend. You went to get all these best players, and guess what? You throw money at them, and guess what? Never got one of World Series that way until we had the core four. You can have the highest payroll, and we still would lose, and that was us like that for a while. At least we were always winning divisions, but we wasn't going that far in the playoffs. But at least we made that. Cohen hasn't really even done that. But it's been a long day. Why don't we call it like this? Maybe I can see if me and CT can get together maybe on Friday to do a stream. If there's something else, I will let you guys know. Yeah, no, that was George's mistake right there. Past their prime, or the one that really kills me was if Yankees signed Guerrero instead of Sheffield. Well, look how many games we could have won more. They had a handshake deal, and that's why I think Vladdy was mad. Junior is mad about the wouldn't ever become a Yankee. But that's in the past. The Yankees are moving forward with hell. I just hope they have some new structure coming up once we see the payroll for the payroll come down a little bit, because it's gonna be coming down with about 40 million coming off the payroll, and the Yankees stadium is gonna be paid off by 2030. So I want to see what Hal does after that, because that's what will tell me if they're gonna be going after full more like than the Dodgers or not. But have a great night, guys. It was good, great chat. Glad that Jonathan came on. Thank you, Doug, for popping in the stream. Thanks, Susan, for having to talk on the chat. It's been a great one. We'll see you in the next time, and make sure you like and subscribe. And if you guys ever want to come up, there's the link. Have a great night, and we'll see you next time.